Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Universe Mode on the JPG channel. We are here live in France, beautiful Lyon, France, for the Backlash pay-per-view. It is the pay-per-view directly after WrestleMania. We get to see the backlash, so to speak, of what was otherwise maybe the best WrestleMania that this Universe Mode, this channel, has seen so far. Needless to say, one thing that happened at WrestleMania was Bron Breakker winning that Intercontinental Championship, successfully securing that championship off the ring onto the ladder, of course, in that 8-man ladder match. There was 700 individuals that could have walked out as the Intercontinental Champion, but Bron Breakker proved to be absolutely undeniable. And now Bron Breakker walks into his very first event as the Intercontinental Champion, but boy, does he have a test that will stand the test of time in the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, a guy that not only has just more recently made his return to the ring, earning this opportunity by winning a Battle Royal, over the top Battle Royal a few weeks ago, but also it is the one championship that has eluded Sheamus his entire career, that being the Intercontinental Championship. So there's a little bit of a personal aspect as to why Sheamus is in this match as well. And I mean, if you ever seen Sheamus fight for a championship, you know that he's going to give you one hell of a show. And that's exactly what we can expect between him and Bron Breakker here tonight. The Celtic Warrior is here to do business. And he is here to make history, at least for himself, becoming a Grand Slam champion if he does successfully defeat the badass himself, Bron Breakker. What a sight that is. Sheamus has been absolutely dominant ever since returning back to the ring the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And now we're going to see where that dominance goes, because the Celtic Warrior is about to meet a man that could possibly be his match, that could possibly check off all the boxes in every category that Sheamus can, and maybe even overpower him in some of those categories. Like, think about the speed of Bron Breakker, think of the tenacity, the intensity. Sheamus can be intense too, don't get me wrong, but Bron Breakker is just a different animal out here, and that's exactly why he's the Intercontinental Champion. Very very successful year for Bron Breakker, culminating with that Intercontinental Championship win on the first few episodes of this new season of Universe Mode. Of course, that being WrestleMania. Now Bron Breakker looks to have an even better season this year. Keep that Intercontinental Championship for as long as he possibly can. And here we go, folks. Bron Breakker, Sheamus getting ready to do battle. And this is not going to be no collar and elbow tie-ups between these two. Breakker and Sheamus immediately going at one another. Or I should say Sheamus really going at Breakker. But like I said, this is personal for Sheamus. This is a championship that has eluded Sheamus' entire career. And he has a chance to put that question to bed if he ever will be a Grand Slam champion. Live tonight in France. Sheamus is not going to take that opportunity lightly. And look at this. Speaking of light, Bron Breakker picking Sheamus up as if he were light, as if he weren't every bit of 280, 290. Bron Breakker's been in the gym, that's for sure. Effortlessly lifting Sheamus up off his feet. When's the last time you've seen Sheamus even leave his feet? Unless he's the one to leave his own feet willingly. Bron Breakker has completely turned this match around in his own favor now. taking out Sheamus with a knee strike, and now a beautiful Hurricane Rana. Look at the athleticism of the Intercontinental Champion. Sheamus, though, only a shoulder out at 1. Still a long fight to go. Both of these guys have the endurance. They have the energy to go the distance. So this should be one hell of a fight to start us off. Breakker slips through the back door after a suplex attempt. No, Sheamus now with a nice reversal after a back suplex attempt from Bron Breakker. Clearly, these two have done their homework on one another, as you would heading into a big championship match like this. Sheamus with a huge shoulder tackle off the second rope. And now, all of a sudden, the challenger, the Celtic Warrior, back in control of this one. Look out, Sheamus off the ropes. Big boot right to the... No, Breakker actually was able to duck that attempt. And now Breakker putting the brakes on with the belly-to-belly suplex. This man, Bron Breakker, is absolutely terrifying to not only watch, extremely entertaining, but also terrifying at the same time with how much he just dominates his opponents. Doesn't matter if it's a person bigger than him. It doesn't matter if it's a person that is the same build as him. It doesn't matter if it's a small cruiserweight in that ring. Breakker treats them all the same. He absolutely demolishes them. He absolutely destroys them limb for limb. Nice Falcon Arrow by Breakker, but still only warranting a 1 count. Got a lot more to go, but Breakker seemingly trying to signal for the end already here. Shots right to the face of Sheamus. Nothing pretty about it, but certainly effective. Those strikes right to the face could knock you out if you're not careful, especially with a guy with the power of Bron Breakker. Now look out. Bron Breakker with a spear into the corner. And now a belly-to-belly suplex out of the corner. Suddenly, Bron Breakker, the champion, is rolling here, and Sheamus still looking to prove a point here by kicking out at 0.5 that time. Breakker making Sheamus chase after him. Sheamus says, bet, look out. Big body slam. A huge catch power slam by Sheamus. Again, turning this match around. The pendulum has been swung all night long between these two. Counter for counter, reversal for reversal, move for move. And now Bron Breakker's looking to switch things up a little bit. He's calling Sheamus up to his feet. Look out! Over the top rope goes Breakker, wiping Sheamus out with a tope con hilo. Bron Breakker wiping the Celtic Warrior out with a tope con hilo. And now all of a sudden, Sheamus is in a world of trouble again, being ragdolled by the Intercontinental Champion face first onto the mat. Under the hardest part of the ring, that apron, that steel rod that's underneath that apron is exactly what hit Sheamus in the face just then. And now Bron Breakker breaking the count. I mean, he has the champion advantage technically in this match, but you see what kind of fighting champion Bron Breakker really is. He wants to go the distance. He wants to earn this victory. And believe me, anytime you're in the ring with Sheamus, you certainly do earn your victory against him if victorious. Look at this. Bron Breakker just pummeling Sheamus. Like I said, this is very, very unorthodox. My goodness, what a huge senton off that apron from Bron Breakker. Very unorthodox to see Sheamus in a position where he has to fight from underneath, a position where he's almost overpowered. We tried to explain that that's exactly how this match was going to go before the bell even rung. And now look out, Bron Breakker sending him into the barricade spine first. Breakker sends Sheamus spine first into the barricade. A complete disregard for this man's well-being. Bron Breakker doesn't have a care in his body for anybody's well-being. All he cares about is checks and championships. And you can't really fault the kid for that. And now Bron Breakker's sending Sheamus back into the ring. Could be all but over here as Breakker, I think he was going to go into the corner for a spear, but he decides to turn things around with a clothesline instead. Now signaling perhaps for the end. Going to be a short night at the office for Sheamus. Goes for a big clothesline. Sheamus now Turning Breakker inside out with the huge backbreaker. Chain of backbreakers coming in clutch for Sheamus, finally turning this thing around. Bron Breakker's in a world of trouble all of a sudden now. 3 backbreakers, those are game changers for sure. Those are game changers for sure. As now Sheamus goes top rope. Big elbow drop to the champion. Sheamus with a big elbow drop. Oh, but Breakker now sending a message telling him what else you got. A kick out at 0.5 for Bron Breakker now. As I said, all these guys are exchanging moves and exchanging reversals this entire time. It's absolutely incredible to watch here. I don't think any of these guys have gotten more than 3 hits on one another in the span of this entire top match. Is now, look at this, another reversal. Bron Breakker with a huge explosive spine buster. With a huge explosive spine buster is Bron Breakker absolutely shattering the lower back of Sheamus. And look, I'm not gonna knock Sheamus for his age or anything like that, but I mean, when you get up to the age of almost 40 like Sheamus is, spine busters become a lot harder to take. Let me just tell you that. I don't know from personal experience, but from hearing about it throughout my knowledge of professional wrestling, the older you get, the harder this whole wrestling thing gets. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Breakker just snatched Sheamus out of midair. He just snatched the Celtic Warrior out of midair. Now, I can tell you for one, I've never seen Sheamus be manhandled like that. Not a day in my life, and I've been watching Sheamus ever since he debuted back in 2009. Bron Breakker just snatched a man that is almost pushing 300 pounds out of midair. That is absolutely terrifying. And now Breakker's going for a bear hug. Just looking to wear Sheamus out with his bear hug, but Sheamus with a nice reversal. Sheamus with the huge double axe handle there. Right to the face, and now all of a sudden Sheamus with another one. Here comes the Celtic Warrior once again. We mentioned how much this would mean to Sheamus if he could indeed put Bron Breakker away. Although, what would it mean for Bron Breakker? It would mean a short title reign. It would mean he was essentially a transitional champion. This is his first title defense. Look out! Bron Breakker gets the shoulder out, though. Thought that was going to be it, but Sheamus has other ideas in mind. Even though Bron Breakker is taking everything that Sheamus is dishing out and serving him right back up with what Breakker can hand out to Sheamus. And now, wait a minute, this might be the end right here. White Noise didn't do it. Celtic Cross has to do it. No, still not. Bron Breakker's still in the fight. You have to give credit where credit is due. Bron Breakker is being a fighting champion in every sense of the word. And now Sheamus hanging him out to dry. Both these guys crashing into one another. You can tell the exhaustion is starting to settle in. And that was it. That was it right there. If Sheamus better thank his lucky stars that he thinks on his feet. Because man, oh man, that knee hit Breakker right in the face. And if it didn't, then Breakker was going to spear right through the midsection of Sheamus, effectively slicing him in half and walking out of France still Intercontinental Champion. As Sheamus asks the crowd if they're not entertained, and if you aren't, I don't know how the hell you aren't. Maybe you're just not a wrestling fan. Needless to say, that's neither here nor there, but look at this Sheamus. Sheamus looking to give Breakker a taste of his own medicine. We saw Breakker do this to Sheamus earlier, and now he sends the champion into the barricade. Now Sheamus sending Breakker into the barricade. Like I said, tit for tat this entire match. And you could see the welts. You could see the bruises on Sheamus's body. Aesthetically disturbing to look at. Sheamus now biding his time here. He's calling Breakker up to his feet now. What does Sheamus have planned on that apron? Look out. Oh no, Sheamus. Oh no, I think he might have got a little overzealous that time and tripped over the rope or something, but nonetheless, he was able to still capitalize on a wounded Breakker with a huge German suplex. Sheamus says, if at first you don't succeed, I guess I'm going to try again. Look out. A flying great white here in France. Sheamus is putting on a show. I mean, this is Sheamus' first PLE in quite a long time. He definitely wants to be back. And now Breakker finds himself again not where he wants to be with the 10 beats. The 10 beats right to the chest of Bron Breakker. Sheamus is absolutely just giving this crowd exactly what they want to see. And they want to see Sheamus hurt people. And indeed, hurting people is what he is best at. Sheamus likes to say he bullies the bullies. Bron Breakker has been one hell of a bully in his first year on the main roster. Oh my God, what a gut buster. Speaking of being a bully, he just bullied the abdomen of Sheamus and almost walked away with the Intercontinental Championship still in tow. Oh no, Breakker, he was going for it earlier. Sheamus was able to sidestep. This time he connects. Connects with the spear, and that's going to be all said and done from there, folks. What a performance. No, I was going to say what a performance by Sheamus, but the performance is still in progress. He just survived the spear. Breakker has to be absolutely furious, and he indeed is as he drives a knee right into the jaw of Sheamus. What the hell does Bron Breakker have to do to put away the Celtic Warrior? Like I said, this is just how much it means for Sheamus to walk out tonight as the Intercontinental Champion. He had to survive 5 other men to even earn this opportunity. Or excuse me, not 5 other men, 7 other men. It was an 8-man over-the-top battle royal. Had to survive 7 other men in an 8-man battle royal to earn this opportunity. And that was no small task. Neither is this, trying to put away the Intercontinental Champion. But Sheamus is trying everything in his wheelhouse. Alabama Slam now into a modified Boston Crab. A modified Boston Crab here. And look at this. Nice reversal by Breakker, effectively using his own momentum. Not only his momentum, but Sheamus' momentum as well against the challenger. And now Sheamus sending Bron Breakker into the turnbuckle. What the hell does Sheamus have planned for Breakker on the top rope? Yes, indeed. He sets him on the top rope. Look at the back of Sheamus. But he's looking to give Breakker his receipt right here and right now. You've got to be kidding me. A white noise off the top rope. My God. That's got to be it. That has to be it. Sheamus to win the Intercontinental Championship for the first time in his career, but Breakker just peels the shoulder off the mat. This is absolutely incredible, folks. This is awesome, just like the crowd loves to chant during moments like this. There's no better way to describe it. There's no better phrase to describe it. Sheamus now again attacking right after a huge move. I don't even know how Sheamus got up after taking a huge fall like that. I mean, that does just about as much damage to Sheamus' body as it would Bron Breakker's. And now Sheamus sends Breakker off the ropes. Now he gets hit with Sheamus' finisher. He gets hit with the bro kick. Oh no, I was going to say Sheamus survived the spear. Is Breakker going to survive the bro kick? And now it's Sheamus getting a little bit frustrated. Both Breakker and Sheamus have gotten in the face of referee Chad Patton here tonight. And I would argue Patton's doing an incredible job. He's been there for every fall. He's not sitting there counting the amount of fans in the crowd. Nothing like that. He's on par here tonight. He knows this is a championship fight. He knows how much this means to both these individuals, being Breakker's first title defense and Sheamus's opportunity at history. And now Bron Breakker sending Sheamus on the exact same turnbuckle that he was just on. And now Breakker now. What the hell has he got planned? You have got to be kidding me. A moonsault follow-away slam. How the hell is that possible? Sheamus, again, I'm reiterating, is about a 280, 290 pound individual. You are not supposed to be able to hold that much weight on a top rope and then be able to do a backflip too. What the hell is Bron Breakker? He's not human. We've already confirmed that with this performance alone. And now Breakker was trying to put in the old Steiner recliner on Sheamus, but Sheamus clearly watched his Scott Steiner tapes before this match, and now another shoulder tackle. And now Sheamus somehow is back up on his feet again, but Breakker again with a nice reversal. And now, oh no, you gotta be kidding me. He's sending Sheamus in on that top rope again. What the hell is it? What? Breakker just scaled the ropes like a cat. 1 minute he's lifting 290 off the top turnbuckle. The next minute he's scaling the ropes like an acrobatic trapeze artist, whatever you want to call it. What the hell is this man Bron Breakker? I'll tell you exactly what he is. He's what it says on the back of his singlet, the future of this business, and he just ducked a bro kick directly into the spear, effectively crushing the Celtic Warriors' hopes and dreams to walk out as Intercontinental Champion here tonight in France. What a performance. What a match we just witnessed between Sheamus and Bron Breakker. These two left it all out on the line to open our show, folks. I could not ask for a better match to introduce us into this year's Backlash PLE. What a fight. And yes, I will use that word, fight, because you can see the scars on Sheamus's body. You can see the sweat and the perspiration on Bron Breakker's body, and believe me, that nice tan he's got going for him. I mean, look at the welts on his back in this replay here. I was gonna say that nice tan he's got going for himself is not gonna cover up the bruises tomorrow morning. What a fight! Bron Breakker earned his first title defense. You have to do nothing but congratulate both these athletes, because that was one hell of a performance. Nonetheless, Bron Breakker still remains on top of the Intercontinental Championship division. What a fight. That's all I gotta really say left about it, folks. My goodness gracious. Moving forward, folks, of course, we got more action here tonight, and the mid-card title matches are all over the place here in Lyon, France, as we get ready for the United States Championship match. These two, both Jacob Fatu and the United States champion Carmelo Hayes, I'm sure that they were watching that match before them in the back, and they're looking at that like, I bet. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we can do to top that. And that is one hell of a match to try and follow between Bron Breakker and Sheamus. I'll tell you that right now. But needless to say, if there's any two men that can maybe match that performance, it's probably our United States champion Hayes, and of course his challenger, the undefeated, might I add, Jacob Fatu, a man that is just coming off of a WrestleMania win against none other than the tribal chief, the OTC himself, Roman Reigns. Of course, Jacob Fatu being victorious over Roman Reigns, I'm sure that put a big smile on the face of the guy you see walking out with Fatu for this big match, that being Solo Sikoa, the leader of this new version of the Bloodline. A team that's already draped in gold, because Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa hold the WWE Tag Team Championships. They might be walking out with more gold if Fatu gets the job done and, well, I hate to say it, but corrects the mistake of Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. Sikoa and Jimmy Uso in a triple threat match against Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania. Both unsuccessful in trying to get that championship off Carmelo Hayes, and they can't really blame nobody but their own selves and their own egos at the end of the day, because Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa would not keep their eyes off one another. They would not keep their hands off one another either, trying to absolutely destroy each other. And Carmelo Hayes at the end of the day was able to just pick the bones, pick his moments, and that exactly is why he walked out not only still the United States champion, but that's why he's the United States champion in general, because he's an opportunist. He recognizes these pockets, and he utilizes that to his advantage. That's exactly what he did at WrestleMania. I'm not going to fault him for it, because that's what champions do. Champions seize opportunities. And this is a big opportunity that Melo is going to have to seize here tonight. He is up against a Samoan werewolf, again, the undefeated Jacob Fatu. In order for Carmelo Hayes to walk out with that championship still in tow, he has to hand Jacob Fatu his first L here in Universe Mode. Big fight feel on both these matches for our first part of Backlash. Still a lot more to come here tonight, folks. Of course, the Women's United States Championship will be decided in the finals of this little mini tournament we've been doing over there on Friday Night SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton defeating Fallon Henley. And, of course, Julia, shocking the world, arriving on the scene and taking out Kairi Sane. That is your finals for the Women's United States Championship. That'll be later on in the show, folks. One of those women will become the first ever Women's United States Champion and make history live in Lyon, France. Question is, will it be the center of the universe, or will it be the beautiful madness, Julia? We'll have to find out a little bit later on. Tag team action still on the card. DIY, Motor City Machine Guns is going down. Of course, our main event still to come as well. Ilya Dragunov with his first title defense, looking to have similar success that Bron Breakker just had in our previous match, but he has arguably just as hard as the test that Breakker had, because Dragunov has to defend his World Heavyweight Championship against none other than the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. That will close our show here tonight, folks. But let's not talk about that right now, because we got to get right into the action, as Carmelo Hayes has done, displaying some strength, actually, being able to lift Fatu off his feet. And Fatu now, oh no, wait a minute, no, Fatu, oh, what a super kick right to the jaw. A super kick right to the jaw of Melo. Jacob Fatu now in his bag early on. Carmelo Hayes, though, not to be denied. Yes, he's the smaller dog in this fight, but this dog's got a ton of heart. Like I said, this is a man that defeated Will Ospreay to get that United States Championship. It's not like Carmelo Hayes did not earn his stripes heading into this match. It's just a very intimidating match when you're in there with Jacob Fatu, and that's exactly why, because you're effectively getting hit by a mini semi-truck. But Carmelo Hayes is still trying to, get a game plan going, still trying to keep a cooler head, still trying to plan his attacks accordingly. And speaking of somebody who's planning something, Solo Sikoa he just threw a chair in the ring. What the hell was that about? Is Chad Patton not paying attention in this match? I mean, I just credit him for paying attention throughout all the falls in the last match, and now they put him out here for the United States Championship match as well, I guess. Hayes is trying to utilize this 10 count to his advantage. Meanwhile, Fatu, was I going to say that those steps stopped Fatu from a path of destruction, but he sends Melo right into our Prime cart out here by ringside. Of course, Prime, a proud sponsor of the JPG channel and Universe Mode as a whole. Oh my goodness, what a huge DDT. If Patton did not just move that steel chair, Melo would have effectively spiked Fatu right on the crown of his skull on a steel chair with that DDT. And now, wait a minute, now we're seeing the power of the Samoan werewolf with a huge gut wrench Dr. Bomb-esque sit-out power bomb. 2 for good measure. And now Jacob Fatu is really starting to roll here. He's really starting to get some momentum. But just when I say that, Carmelo, ever so crafty, with a nice reversal there. And now Fatu. Oh, what a huge super kick right to the jaw. And he's not done there just yet. Just using his entire body weight to his advantage again against the smaller opponent that Carmelo Hayes unfortunately is to Jacob Fatu. And now what a headbutt. Jumped up in the air for a little extra sauce on that one. And now Fatu, look out, big Uranagi tells Carmelo Hayes to sit his punk ass down. That's reminiscent of the old Samoa Joe Uranagi out of the corner, man. I used to love that move so much. And Fatu certainly paying some homage to another great Samoan wrestler. And now Fatu sending Melo back into that barricade right over by that Prime card again. Clearly he has some bad intentions with that cart, and I think we're about to find out exactly what those are. You've got to be kidding me. A power bomb through the cart. My God. Jacob Fatu, obviously pleased with the destruction that he just caused outside the ring. Breaking the count, though, because remember, Fatu doesn't have champion advantage. Melo does. Bron Breakker did in the last match. He chose to win it the old-fashioned way, 3 the hard way. Meanwhile, Jacob Fatu cannot afford a count-out victory because it will not award him the United States Championship, and it certainly would not be enough for Sol Sikoa to be impressed or even proud of his enforcer of this new bloodline. And now Fatu trying to game plan with Sikoa out there. Or I think he was actually trying to tell Sikoa that he's distracting the referee while Fatu was trying to pin Melo. Sikoa needs to plan his attacks out a little bit more accordingly. And oh my goodness, what a huge, I don't know what to call that, a twisting corkscrew elbow to the face. I don't know. It was something, but Jacob Fatu just hit Carmelo Hayes extremely hard with whatever he just delivered. And now Carmelo Hayes still trying to fight back here, though. Like I said, you have to credit the heart of the United States champion, and that's what we should be seeing more out of Sol Sikoa. If he's trying to distract somebody, that worked perfectly. Fatu with a super kick, while Carmelo Hayes was getting some trash talk courtesy of Sol Sikoa, the man that's trying to take the spot at the head of the table. And with Fatu defeating Roman Reigns, and now Reigns not being seen ever since losing to Fatu, you have to wonder if Sol Sikoa has effectively been assigned that position in the family. And now Carmelo Hayes is really starting to roll here. Big clothesline in the corner. And now sending Fatu down out onto the ring mat here. And now Hayes, look out, a little bit of a gun stun on the ropes. I'm impressed with how much Carmelo Hayes has been able to lift Jacob Fatu in this match. Melo's certainly been in the gym too. And now again, Sikoa again effectively. Now wait a minute, Carmelo Hayes has had enough. I was going to say effectively not only giving Jacob Fatu the advantage, but also disrupting a pinfall attempt of Carmelo Hayes this time. And yeah, he told Sol Sikoa to mind his damn business. He just sent him right into the steel steps. Sikoa acting like he's about to just brush it off, but you know, he felt that. He felt the wrath of Hayes that time. Nice combination move there. And now wait a minute, look at this. Springboard DDT. The Gamenguri into the springboard DDT. Absolutely perfect from our United States champion. And that is a title that Carmelo Hayes is not looking to lose here tonight. But as I said, he has to do what seems to be the impossible, and that is put Jacob Fatu's shoulders down to the mat for the 3 count. Can Carmelo Hayes do it? Can he walk out with another successful title defense? That is yet to be seen. Another thing that has yet to be seen is Fatu losing a match. So we'll have to find out which way this goes. Look at this nice springboard moonsault. If Carmelo Hayes continues the onslaught like that, I would have to believe. Now look at this. Oh, first 48 out of nowhere. The double knees to the face. Double knees to the face. Fatu again with a big kick out. You have to continue this onslaught. Like I was just saying, Melo, don't let Sikoa get into your head. Sikoa lives rent-free in most people's head. Sikoa is so shady of an individual, he probably would live rent-free anywhere he possibly could. And now again, Carmelo Hayes is trying to... I mean, we got to remember, Melo and Solo, they go way back. They used to have a little bit of a feud back in NXT, and now that, again, might have just costed Carmelo Hayes his United States Championship. Spiked on his head with a DDT. Luckily, Carmelo Hayes was able to escape. Luckily, Hayes was able to survive. But Jacob Fatu right back into a pinfall attempt. Trying to exert more energy out of Carmelo Hayes. That is a category that Carmelo Hayes will have over Jacob Fatu, just slightly. The speed and the endurance. But Jacob Fatu is, I mean, he certainly moves a lot quicker for a man his size than he really should be. Hybrid athlete in every sense of the word is Jacob Fatu, as he sends Carmelo Hayes back into the ring. And now Fatu, and oh wait a minute, Carmelo Hayes grabbed a hold of Fatu. Look at this. A lifting suplex into a cutter. Center of the ring. Goes for the cover. Fatu now has to get a big kick out. This is a lot more even of a match than, honestly, I was prepared to be calling. The dominance that Jacob Fatu displayed against a former multi-time champion like Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, one of the greatest to ever do it. And now in this match, Carmelo Hayes has, well, obviously clearly done his homework, but also been able to almost match Jacob Fatu in terms of performance. And now look at this, Carmelo Hayes able to find another reversal out of harm's way. Went for a clothesline. Fatu ducks. And now Jacob Fatu going on to the top rope. That kick right to the abdomen certainly might have cut off a little bit of circulation, cut off a little bit of breathing for Carmelo Hayes. And now Jacob Fatu running straight into the back of the head of the champion. Fatu doesn't care how he gets the job done. He just wants to injure people. He's very similar mindset to Bron Breakker, as a matter of fact. Those two guys, man, I got to see it at least once. I got to see them go head to head. Give me Fatu, Breakker, 20 minutes. They'll tear their house down. Maybe one day here on the channel we'll see that match. Who knows, folks? And now look at this, Carmelo Hayes now trying to bide his time here or maybe catch his breath. But again, that was his detriment right there. But again, luckily to get a big kick out. But Fatu is wasting little to no time. Off the top rope with a Samoan splash. A Samoan splash averted. Goes for the knee. Fatu with a reversal now. Kick right to the face. And all of a sudden, Carmelo Hayes is bleeding from the forehead. Now, wait a minute. Fatu, that is the first cheap tactic I've seen Fatu use maybe in his entire career here on the JPG channel. Is a little bit of desperation seeping in when it comes to Fatu. That would certainly be something. Definitely a headline story. Jacob Fatu getting desperate to win a wrestling match. A man that has hardly lost a wrestling match throughout his entire professional career. Carmelo Hayes over the top rope with a tope con hilo. But when you have a champion like Carmelo Hayes, a fighting champion at that, a man that's been putting on one hell of a performance here tonight, you have to believe that would be a little bit intimidating to anybody, even a man of the stature of Jacob Fatu. Fatu could be second-guessing himself at this point in the match. I mean, hell, Carmelo Hayes has survived almost 15 minutes in the ring with Jacob Fatu. That's more than most can say. Look out, big fadeaway leg drop by Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes now with the cover. Every time he gets a cover on Fatu, it gets closer and closer to 3. I'm just saying here. And now, wait a minute. Carmelo Hayes now calling Fatu up to his feet. Gonna try and go for something here. Kicks Fatu out. Look out! A huge, almost a second rope version of the first 48. Melo is upgrading his moves as he goes along in this match. Melo's a big avid basketball fan, avid 2K player as well. He certainly just spent some VC there, upgrading from a normal first 48 to a second rope assisted first 48. And now Fatu, look out, goes for a swanton. Again, Carmelo Hayes able to lure Fatu in. But Fatu, seemingly having the answers once again, sends Hayes for a ride. Look out, that is so scary to watch. A pop-up Samoan drop. And what could be scary for Carmelo Hayes is he's about to lose this United States Championship if Fatu continues to have his way in this match. Meanwhile, while that was all going on, I think referee Chad Patton had just about enough of Sol Sikoa. I think he sent him back to the showers. And indeed, I am getting word that Sol Sikoa was indeed sent back to the locker rooms, kicked out from this match, banned from ringside by Chad Patton. And now look out. Look at the strength of Fatu this late in the match. Absolutely impressive. Another doctor bomb from Jacob Fatu. What is it going to take for either of these men to walk away with that United States Championship? Carmelo Hayes walked in here with the United States Championship. I'm not even quite sure if he's going to walk in general out of the arena after the brutality that he has suffered here tonight at the hands of the Samoan Werewolf. Oh my God, it's a lot of distance to cover. Fatu now with a huge senton. Again, the ribs have to be absolutely mutilated at this point. A big super kick by Fatu. Carmelo Hayes now is just eating everything that Fatu is throwing at him. Look at this nice crafty pinfall attempt here. Roll-up attempt from Carmelo Hayes. And now Fatu, look out. We mentioned that Fatu is deceptively athletic. He turns it around. But look at this. Again, a feat of strength displayed by Carmelo Hayes, able to lift Fatu's body off the floor and go for another roll-up. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible to watch, as a matter of fact. And now Carmelo Hayes sending Fatu on the top rope here. What does Carmelo Hayes have in store for the Samoan Werewolf? Goes for a big superplex. You've got to be kidding me. A superplex by Carmelo Hayes. Fatu's out, and Hayes knows it. Hayes knows that that Jacob Fatu is out. Big frog splash connects. A big frog splash connects, puts Fatu away. Not enough. Still not enough to put away the challenger. But the more this match continues, the more I'm starting to really like Carmelo Hayes' odds. I mean, we have not seen Fatu have to endure so much as far as longevity in a match, almost as an entire time here on the JPG channel. Carmelo Hayes is running the clock out, if you will, against Jacob Fatu, and that is a very effective strategy, if you ask me. Hayes now calling Fatu up to his feet. Look out! Nothing but net hits, but is it going to be enough? No, not indeed. Fatu taking the nothing but net and effectively calling it an air ball. We've seen Fatu survive everything that Roman Reigns threw at him in Philadelphia at WrestleMania. Now he's, effectively, seemingly surviving everything that Hayes is throwing at him. Look out! Fatu throwing caution in the wind. But Melo just kept his distance that time. Not too much, nothing too fancy about what Carmelo Hayes did. He just made sure he stayed the hell out of Jacob Fatu's way. That is a big man coming crashing down on you, if not. And now Fatu sending Carmelo Hayes. Nope. Hayes again putting the brakes on. And now Carmelo going top rope again, but Fatu has already popped up back to his feet. Ducks the crossbody attempt. Fatu, he misstep there with the elbow right to the face. He went the wrong way, as a matter of fact. And now Fatu going off the ropes again. It's Carmelo Hayes getting in the head of Jacob Fatu here. And now Hayes again setting Fatu up on the top rope. What does Carmelo Hayes have planned here? Oh no, well, this is a very prone position for both these individuals. Look out, Hayes spins himself around. Nice Frankensteiner off the top. A Frankensteiner off the top rope. This is Carmelo Hayes' opportunity. Hayes poised. Another beautiful nothing but net leg drop. And Jacob Fatu, no, what? I was just about to say Fatu effectively taking his first L, but he just kicked out at one. He just kicked out at one of a move that was put away Will Ospreay in the past. A move that helped secure Carmelo Hayes the win at WrestleMania. Jacob Fatu just took nothing but net and literally called it nothing. Carmelo Hayes, if I'm him, I don't know what it's going to take. You could try a third nothing but net, but like at what point does it even matter? And now wait a minute. Now he spikes Fatu on his head with a DDT. If I can't beat him with my own moves, I'm gonna beat him with his own move. That's what Melo's mentality is, but no. Fatu again with a shoulder out. And all of a sudden, something seems inevitable, and that is Jacob Fatu walking out as the United States champion here tonight, folks. And now again catches him with the pop-up Samoan drop. And oh no, Jacob Fatu now done playing games here. He says it's time to put this thing to bed. He decides against it though, as now Fatu, look out, again trying to go for that crossbody. Melo with a nice sidestep once more. Every time Fatu goes for these high risk, no reward amounts of offense, he's just exerting more energy, and Hayes knows that. Might be the key to beating Fatu. I think Carmelo Hayes might have cracked the code right here and right now. We mentioned he's an avid 2K player. He's got the cheat codes for Jacob Fatu, or it seemed like he did until he just got hit by a spinning Samoan werewolf. And now, wait a minute, Fatu has Melo in a very precarious position. Big hip attack into the corner. Oh no, this is usually a precursor. It is usually a precursor to that absolutely beautiful moonsault he loves to put on display. And I don't think Melo's kicking out, folks. And he's not. Jacob Fatu wins the United States Championship. What a fight these two just had. This could rival Breakker and Sheamus. Honestly, pretty on par. Pretty even with these two matches. What a two-match lineup to start our show here tonight, folks. A lot more to come for this Backlash event. We got two more parts for you guys before all is said and done and we leave France. Be on the lookout for those other two episodes of Backlash, as I'm sure the rest of the performers on this show will be looking to outdo the performances that they just saw. But nonetheless, we have to congratulate Jacob Fatu on winning the United States Championship and effectively bringing even more gold to this new bloodthirsty version of the Bloodline.